Welcome back to a beautiful day here in Vilnius, Lithuania for the 2021 World Open Sub-Junior, Junior and Masters Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships. Today is going to be a fantastic day. I'm joined by none other than the absolute legend from UK herself, Jo Whiteley, who incidentally will be on the platform again today.
Very soon.
And we've got quite a lineup today. We'll start with the M1-M2 men, the 59 and 83s, and then we'll move into the 66s and the 74 kilos. It's been quite an interesting week so far. What are we looking forward to today?
Well, we have the Masters Men 1 and 2, as you said, in this session, and then we go into the afternoon session with all the Masters women. So we will have some real battles. And we've also seen some rematches from the equipped, especially in the M1-84
So quite a number
clubs.
of athletes coming back out to back up from the equipped lifting as well, which is a big ask. Not only has it been an extremely busy schedule over the last couple of months with all the competitions rolling, now they're backing up from the equipped and doing the classic lifting as well.
So it's today's Tuesday, and the Masters women that are lifting this afternoon also lifted Friday morning, so that is a quick turnaround.
Yeah, so it's quite a quite a big load, but right now we're just about to get underway. We're a few seconds away from getting started with Gilles Marigo from France, looking for 105 kilograms. So this is 59 kilo.
Gilles Marigo coming out now. He's just wrapping his wrists before he gets past the technical controller. He has to be ready to go, and he's using up quite a bit of his platform time already.
He certainly is.
And he's very calmly and slowly wrapping his wrists, and he's coming out with only 35 seconds to go.
Yep, here, hold my beer. Just let me go and lift this.
No sense of urgency. Have a chat with the platform crew.
Well, let's see if he can get set up. He should have enough time. There's still 20 seconds left on the clock, but certainly no urgency to get out on the platform.
No, I mean, he's lifted. He was the European bench champion in 2019.
So he knows what he's doing.
But 10 seconds in the bar to go, and the bar's in his hands. Here we go.
And absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. 3 white lights. And just casually walks off. Thanks very much. I'll take that. Very calm, casual lifter. So we load the bar to 130. So we move into the 83 kilo M2. Serapan Savakasov from Kazakhstan. A little bit earlier to the platform.
Well, you want to be early to the platform. If the referees aren't happy with your start position, they can ask you to re-rack the bar, and you have to do your whole setup again.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen. We've seen that happen a couple of times here, but we've seen it happen, in many competitions. You get asked to re-rack.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, made short work of that. Good opening choice there. So we reload to 135 now. Artak, Austrian from the Netherlands. Now, I think, did Artak lift in the equipped?
I'm not sure, actually. He certainly does lift classic and equipped.
So 142.5 is his personal best, so 135 opener.
He did. He was 5th in the equipped a few days ago. Only made his opener of 175 in that session.
So he'll be looking to redeem himself a little bit here.
It was a little bit tough.
Probably a little tougher than you'd want an opening lift to be. It's often hard to judge with an opener.
It is, but as you say, you lifted equipped a few days ago. That is going to take it out of you.
Yeah, quite often you don't realise just how much energy you've lost
until
you hit
on
the platform.
Yeah.
And you walk off, look at your coach, and that was rather heavy. Michael Wagira from Austria now, 137.5. So a lot of gentlemen backing up from equipped lifting. Yeah, this should be well within reach. It should be a very smooth opening lift, and it is.
Nice. He's lifted internationally before in the equipped bench. I don't think he's lifted classic bench internationally before.
They're going to double up this week. The Guido Oyush from Germany. 140 kilograms.
He's been active a long time nationally. This is his first outing as an international lifter.
So this opening lift will give us a good indication of how he's handling the nerves of an international competition.
And it is nervous, isn't it? You walk out for the first time with the cameras and the lights facing IPF referees.
It's a completely different experience.
Nice.
Yeah,
hasn't let it
well.
phase him.
Moved quite well. 3 white lights. Yeah, he looks quite calm. He doesn't seem to be being bothered too much by the extra attention. Petras Lukatavasius from Lithuania.
Quite a new lifter. Even though he's a master, not all the masters have been lifting for decades. Some of them get into it in their 40s and 50s and even later.
Yeah, it's a wonderful sport. You see a number of people starting quite late in their careers.
And he was fired out there like he was shot out of a cannon. Fired up and ready to go. Has the home team advantage?
Yeah, look, I think one of the great things about bench-only competitions is you can get fired up early. You know, in your 3 lift, you've got to really manage that aggression. Ooh, that looks tough.
I think he got his line wrong there.
Yeah, he just seemed to come a bit further back on his right-hand side, I think.
He lost his position a little bit. His foot moved on the descent.
And you can see his right arm shifts back.
I think that's just nerves. Now we have another lifter in his first international.
Barry Taverner, Great Britain. British team is huge this year.
It is. We've had quite a lot of people coming out. We were restricted, the British team were restricted from coming out to the Europeans. We missed a lot of competitions. So everyone's taking the opportunity to get out here if possible. Sheridan Ray coaching.
He's in pretty good hands there.
He gave himself an extra long pause there. Just took a moment
really
to make
sure. I'm just going to make sure I've got the press command clearly here.
And he's on the board.
That was a nice lift. Yes, he hung around the bottom there for a while.
But that shows how strong he is,
yeah,
right?
Look. I mean, it's great to get a quick press, but there are times when you've got that bar to your chest when you just need that moment to prepare. It's not like a quick lifting where you've got to really chase that explosion. Takuya Yamashita from Japan, also backing up from the equipped lifting. And I'm quite sure we've got a print error in his personal best. I don't think his personal best is 1,675 kilos.
That's quite.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But he is looking to open at 155.
Now he won his class in the equipped.
Yeah, he was really outstanding.
With 197.5. Now that was a long time. I wonder if was the bar skipping about a bit.
Yeah, it seems smooth all the way through.
But he's on the board, didn't trouble him.
Yeah, there's a bit of a wobble there. So for those of you at home, the key is to get that bar to your chest, stop it as quickly as you can so you can get that press command. If the bar is wiggling around, moving around, you're not going to get that press command. And the longer you're down there, you lose that tightness. Johan Björk from Sweden.
And of course, a lot of that depends on your style of benching. I'm very tricep dominant, so if I'm on the chest for a long time, I'm just gone. I've got no chance. But if you're pec dominant, it doesn't trouble you as much. That was a nice lift.
Very well done. 3 white lights. And you can see he stops well, gets the press command. It was Sevis Janis, Lithuania. Looking for 165, pretty close to his personal best. But again, you know, we've talked about it. It's hard to really determine at the moment with so many people having long absences from competition. Training's been going well. A solid position on the bench. That moved quite well. 3 white lights and he's on the board.
You don't want to use too much energy with your opener. You want to make it nice and easy, and then you can start in with the game plan.
Florent Lenglet from France, 180 kilos. And put that in perspective, this is the 83 kilo class, so we're well over double body weight.
Yeah. And these are masters lifters.
Even body weight is respectable. Double body weight, outstanding.
Of course, bench takes the longest to develop because the upper body strength is, it's time under the bar essentially, isn't it?
Very much so. It is one of those things you've really got to persevere over time. Oh, that was a little tough, which is unusual given his personal best is 192.5. He looks a little bit bewildered himself. I just think he bounced around a bit and just wasn't really as tight as he wanted to be at the bottom.
Well, let's hope that's just nerves and he can come back and smoke that for his second.
Meriden, Sahatov, US Virgin Islands. Looking for 190 kilograms.
This is a big opener.
That is a monster opener. The current world record for M1 is 197.5.
I think we might see a run at that.
That moved pretty well.
Yeah.
He looks quite casual about it too. It's like, yeah, thanks very much. He got one red light now. I'm not really sure what that was for.
Let's just watch that back on the replay if we get one. No, we kind of missed that.
So we come around to round 2 now. Gilles Marigot from France. The 10 kilo jump to 115. His opener was really fast.
It was super easy. So it's quite a big jump for a 59 kilo lifter, but as you say, opener was comfortable. He's out much quicker this time. He's ready for it.
Yeah, he's going to give himself more than 10 seconds this time. And it is so important to be there and be ready. As you said, you can easily get a re-rack. If they're not happy with your setup and you get a re-rack, you just don't have the time. And he's still not giving himself a lot of time if anything was to go wrong. Oh, he's having to work hard for this one, but he's going to get there, I think.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
It was a big jump, 10 kilos. He gets 2 white lights, which is enough. And he's pretty happy with that effort, as he should be. See his elbows really flare out early on that one.
Not sure how much more he's got there.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see him be going up too much. Sharapan. Sadvakasov from Kazakhstan. Looking for 140.
Well, it came well off the chest, but he had to
he
work
really had to
hard
work
to get
in that
it
transition,
through,
didn't he? And you just noted he's wearing his singlet backwards. Maybe that's for good luck.
Maybe. It seems an odd thing to do.
Yeah, he really had to work through that tricep zone there. Artek Arthrian, 140 kilograms.
Now, I think his opener wasn't as easy as he would have liked. He's taken a quite conservative jump at 5 kilos, which I think is a wise thing to do.
Yeah, it's always good. You get that opener on the board, and from that opener, that's where you indicate where your second's going to go. I mean, the guys come in, the coaches come in. You've got your opener. You've got your plan A, B, C, and D for your second.
He was fast there. That was the P of the press for sure. I don't think he jumped it. Maybe he did.
He's got the 2 red lights there.
Maybe the side refs thought he did.
Oh
No, his butt was up.
Very early there and straight away again on the press. What a shame, because that was a much better press than his first one. Michael Wagira, Austria. 142.5 kilos. We're in the M2 83s. He's had a big week already. Yeah, that looked quite good as well. 3 white lights. He's pretty happy with that. So Petrus now from Lithuania looking to redeem himself from his opener. So really, he's just got to get the timing right.
It just went the wrong way, didn't it? I think he just got really offline.
So just has to really focus on the descent. Get the bar to the chest and stopped. And I think it's just too heavy.
That's a real shame.
You get to this point now, and it's in equip lifting, there's things you can do, but in classic lifting, you're at this point. You've missed your second lift.
Wait, he pushed straight upwards. He didn't push back.
So he has got some room to change that technique a little bit and get that right, and it could put it on the board.
Oh, fingers crossed for him.
But he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Guido Joish now, 147.5.
As you say, with equipped lifting, anything can happen really, but with classic, you should be opening light enough that... We saw it yesterday with a lady that completely dropped a bar on herself,
and still
but her opener was so
it.
Conservative, she pressed it anyway.
And it's such an important thing in classic lifting. Good lift.
Strong.
That looked like about the right amount of work you want for a second lift. Gets it on the board, and I think he's got a pretty big support crowd in the audience. Takuya Yamashita will be our next lifter with 160 kilos.
Looking to do the double. Already world equipped champion, looking for the classic as well.
He has put himself in a good position. He got that opener on the board. And you really use that opener to judge what your second's going to be. You come off and you look at your coach and you say, it was really heavy. Oh wow, that felt easy. It moved really fast.
But whatever else you say to your coach, you have to convince him that you're good for it. He's giving his hip flexors a good old stretch there.
We'll shift the bar and have a bit of a stretch out as well. He's cut his time down with all that though. He's only got 20 seconds left on the clock now.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone come out and do a stretch on the bench before.
Well, it worked for him.
Yeah, it didn't trouble him at all.
His pre-lift stretch has paid off. He gets 3 white lights, and he's put himself in a really good position to take the gold medal here.
And it demonstrates as well that it's a whole body exercise. You're not just using your arms on bench press.
Yeah, it's a big misconception that it's all upper body. Barry Taverner from Great Britain, 162.5.
As you said many times, you've got to do the press with a completely tight system. The whole body is supporting that
Yeah, once you
push.
lose that tightness, all of a sudden all your energy production goes into all sorts of different areas instead of the bar.
Now Barry took the British M1 record with 170.5 at the British bench in August.
So 162.5 should be fairly reasonable. And it is.
Yep.
Handles that without any problems whatsoever.
I think he'll be looking to go for 172 for the British record.
I would imagine so.
He was coached by Showdown that day as well, so they've got a good team going there.
Yeah, so there's the history and the understanding there. He knows what he can do. Johan Björk from Sweden, 167.5.
And it's important to note that in the IPF we have a real team structure. So you have the team coaches, and if you're quite a new lifter, the team coach might not be so familiar with you and your lifting. So communication is important, and the history and the knowledge of the coach.
Yeah, that was a good lift from Johan.
That's good.
Yeah, it takes time to build that understanding. I mean, when you come back for a second or a third World Championships and the team coach is there, he's now familiar with you. He now knows, you know, how much of a grind you've got in you, what sort of athlete you are. So we load to a monster 170 kilos now. It's for Abusefas Yanis from Lithuania.
I said Barry would go for 172.5 for the British. He's actually gone for 177.5.
Wow.
To have a punt at the podium.
Well, if he's secure in his position, I mean, you've really got to take the shot.
Still a long way to go in this competition. Oh, a bit of work. Never in any doubt, though.
Yeah, gets it on the board, 170. Puts himself in good standing, so that moves him up into the silver medal position for the time being. So Florent Linglet from France now. Looking at 1880, missed this on his opener. He is a bit more fired up this time. He might have been just a little bit relaxed and a little bit too casual on the first lift. He's really fired up now.
I think if you, as you've mentioned before, if he's got big ambitions for this competition, he might not be thinking about this lift. He's thinking about the third. That was much better.
That was much better, wasn't it? A little bit more aggression under the bar, and it's made a huge difference. There's a big smile on his face there too. He's put himself back in contention.
Really important not to get ahead of yourself in the competition. You have to focus on the lift you are doing now.
Yeah, and it can be really distracting when you start looking at numbers and looking at you start thinking too far ahead and the what ifs. But right now, Murden from the US Virgin Islands opened with 190, looking for 195, which is just a couple of waffles shy of the world record.
And I think this is smart as well. He wants to secure the world title, and then he gets a free run.
Yeah, and that is a really smart tactical move. Get your world championship secured first, then take a run at the world record.
And I think this will put him clearly in the lead.
Oh, got a bit tough.
No.
That's really quite interesting. It moved really well off his chest there. Let's just have a look at the replay and see.
Only 5 kilos up from his opener, which moved really well.
He moved really fast there, and he's really gone straight up. There's not a whole lot of backward movement there. So I imagine he'll probably just go to 195. I think that would be the smart move.
Because he's going to be under pressure now from Lenglet otherwise.
Gilles Farigo from France, 117.5, so back to the 59 kilo M2s. He is the world champion regardless of this lift. And he's just doing his wrist wraps up there again. So 117.5. Has the gold medal and is the world champion.
Not a bad day's work.
It's a good day at the office. Oh, he's having to work.
Flipped his elbows back really early, and I don't think that gave him any chance at all of pressing it. We should be able to see that back on the replay.
Yeah, oh, right from the start.
Yeah.
He's gone all shoulder. Yeah, you certainly cannot press from that position. So Atak, Austrian.
Now this is interesting. He's gone up, which isn't usually recommended in Classic.
Yeah, it's not something we usually do. I mean, I think I've done it as a coach in a squat once or twice in my entire career.
I've done it as a lifter in the squat, just to stay in touch. I knew I'd made a technical fail. I knew I was strong, but it's still a very nervous thing to do. Very risky.
It's a big risk to do, and I've been lucky enough to get away with it. But I certainly don't recommend it, and it wasn't recommended here either. And it was clearly that one was just too heavy.
Leaves him with the best of 135.
It's generally something as coaches we always say, you know, if you miss your lift in Classic, don't add weight to it. And as coaches, we've all done it probably once or twice in our careers.
Sometimes you have to, because it's either stay in touch or go home.
Yeah. So 145 now.
He's been
Sharapan
sent off the platform for some reason. Not sure. It's the wrong lifter. The wrong lifter came out.
That's the problem. Wrong lifter came out. And so Sharapan has 145. He's got 30 seconds on the clock now.
That confusion, and that's left this lifter with less time than he would like. Oh, he's fought it to a standstill.
Fought hard. That was a tough lift.
Will not go.
He rushed his setup a bit because of everything that went on.
That's a shame, because that was an attempt to take the silver medal rather than the bronze, but it's left him with the bronze now.
So right now, Petras, Lithuania, has missed his 2 opening lifts, and they just looked too heavy.
And it was Petras that came out early. I think he was just really, really fired up and focused on this.
So he still does have the chance. I mean, if he shifts his bar path a little bit and gets a little bit of backward motion on it, he could put this on the board, but he's going to have to be technically perfect. Oh, he's jumped the press command.
And it wasn't going anywhere. Even with the touch and go bench, he couldn't do it. I think that's inexperience showing there.
Yeah, look, I think every athlete, some point in their career, is going to have a competition where you just go home with nothing. Yeah. It's part of what powerlifting is. And
the more inexperienced you are, the more likely you are to overreach.
No, and it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. We have all been there. Guido Wishnau.
We've seen former world champions this week do the same.
155, and we've seen many great legends of powerlifting miss all 3 lifts. It happens to the best and the newest. 155. Oh, he's had to work and just couldn't quite get there.
Not quite there.
But a big effort though. And your third lifts are always a bit of hit and miss. You're trying to push that little bit further. It's always something you've probably never lifted before. Michael Wagita, 160. This will put him temporarily up into the gold medal.
Yeah, this is for the world title, or at least a shot at it. Gets his foot on the top step of the podium.
So he has the silver medal wrapped up. He wants a shot at the gold. It's a big ask, 142.5 to 160. And just a bit too much. But, look, he's got a smile on his face, and he knew it was a, 40%er.
Walks away with the silver medal.
Right now, your new world champion and gold medals. We've got an attempt change going in. We're just waiting to see what that change is.
It looks like it's Florent Lenglet. We shouldn't affect us now.
No,
Just trying to figure out what's happening.
So we still have 172.5 for Takuya Yamashita from Japan. And he is coming
did change. He had something else and he changed to 172.5.
So I am going to guess it's either...
I think he's going for best lifter. I know it's early in the competition
well
yet, but he's top of the board at the moment.
Push him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, he's in the position. He's gold medal. He's world champion already. He's got the hip flexor stretch happening again. I'm going to try that myself. It's working for him.
I'll come out on the platform later and I'll do that. But he's a double world champion.
I'll give you $5 if you do that.
We absolutely can't mock his technique there because he's double world champion.
Not just world champion, his lifts have been superb. Oh, look at the strength.
There he goes, 172.5.
There is a masterclass for you. 3 white lights.
Superb.
That puts him in good standing now. He's already the world champion. He might go home with the best lifter.
He might well. He's a good 15 points clear, but we still have quite a few weight classes to come.
We'll keep an eye on that.
Now we've got real battles for the podium coming up.
It's really heating up now because we've got Barry Taverner, who is currently ranked 5th, but this 172.5.
Well, he did have 177 in.
That's right, he did. So he's dropped that, but this puts him into bronze.
A few strategic changes go on. I'm not quite sure what's happened. The rack height was incorrect, so we've reset the clock for him because that was a platform error. Sheridan just keeping him calm.
Yeah, look at that great coaching there. That really was. He's got his arm on his back. He's keeping him calm. He's not letting this upset him or rattle him or change his focus.
And this will extend his own British record,
which is currently
170.5. Yeah.
Fantastic. So extend his British record and put him in
on
with
the podium.
Chance.
Well, temporary hold on the podium.
Oh, it's just a bit too much. He came down a little bit too fast, I think.
You know,
what an effort, though.
Well worth the effort.
He came down. If you watch the replay, he brought the bar down just a little bit too fast, much faster than his previous lifts.
Just a bit too heavy. So that leaves Barry with the best of 162.5, and he is 5th. Yeah.
So 172.5 on the bar now for Janis from Lithuania. So he is currently ranked 3rd, and this will just make it a little bit tougher for Bjorn to peg him down. That's well over his personal best. He's going to have to work for this one. There are no easy rides in powerlifting.
No, because while you're at home improving and working hard, so is everybody else.
That's right. Oh, he's had to work. He just can't get quite past that sticking point.
Yeah, leaves him with the best of 170, and he's still got his hands on the bronze medal.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still in the ranking number 3 at the moment.
However,
this man could take it off him, though. Johan Bjorn, 175. This will take the bronze medal. Does Janis from Lithuania hang on to it? Or does the man from Sweden steal it away? One, 7-5. Good position. Oh, it's just a little too heavy. So Janis hangs on to the bronze just by the skin of his teeth. And now we've got the battle for the gold medal. Florent Lenglet, France, 190. This will put him in the gold medal position.
Yeah, the USVI lifter missing his second has really given Florent Lenglet an opportunity here.
And he's looking fired up for it as well. His 180 opener didn't go to plan. His 182nd looked great.
I wouldn't like to call this. I don't know how this is going to go at all. I think it's a big ask.
just a bit too
he's
much
done his
there,
best,
so he'll take the silver.
Not quite.
He gave it a big effort though, and now, as I expected this, the attempt change, because Merthen has it all his own way now. His gold medal, World Championship secure. No one's taking that away. Going for a world record.
198, you called it.
Previous world record, 197.5. We're looking for 198. It's hard to judge this, given
it really is,
he had a 190, looked great. 195 with his second.
It did look good, but his butt came up.
So, tough to call.
But you'd have a go, wouldn't you?
You would have to have a shot at the world record. Be nice to take the World Championship with the world record with it. So here it is, 198 kilos for the 83 kilo M1 world record. The world champion is having a crack at it. He looked good underneath, but it's just a bit too heavy.
That was so close.
He will just have to settle for the world championship today.
That's not a bad consolation prize, is it?
Day. So a great finish there. The world champion in the 83. So we move straight in now to the 66 kilo and the 74 kilo M1 and M2s. And again, we should have some nice little battles in here. To give you an idea, the 66 kilo M1 world record 170.5, the M2 155.5, and the 74s 225 and 180. Some big numbers on there.
Yeah.
And we start with Nadars from Lithuania, 102.5, M2 66 kilo class. Get the ball rolling. 53 years of age, been competing for 5 years. And looks like a good opening lift.
Look like there's any drama there.
And he gets the 3 white lights and it's on the board. Yeah, very clean lift there. Vidmantas, Boglis, Lithuania. Looking for 105.
He took the bronze medal in the equipped competition a few days ago.
So this opening lift will be quite interesting. It should be well within reach, but it'll be interesting to see just how much the equipped session has taken out of him.
And he lifted full power equipped at the Worlds only a month ago.
So recovery is really important here. And it was probably harder than what he wanted.
I'm not sure if his butt came up there. No, he didn't.
The 3 white lights.
He got quite a bit of leg drive there, and I thought he might have changed his elected position.
So he gets it on the board. Lavilla from Finland, 105. It's the 66 kilo M1 division now. Well below his personal best of 115.
Nice and easy.
Quite well.
Yeah, that was a good lift.
And that's actually a really good example of being conservative when you're opening a lift. He didn't get the perfect bar path on the way down. It bounced a little bit on his chest, but it was still a relatively easy press for him. Mike Rose from Germany, 115 kilograms. Now, not sure what his recent lifts has been, but he has a 110 listed as a personal best. Clearly, that's not his personal best anymore.
Well, I don't think he's competed very much in the last couple of years since before lockdown. I think that was his pre-lockdown PB.
So he gets a 115 on the board. Very nicely done. Body stayed very straight. A little bit of a slip of his foot there, but as we've said, you can move your foot laterally as long as it doesn't come off the ground. Amir Riza Mesfroush from Iran, 115 kilos.
Took the silver medal in the equipped competition with 135. He's having a good old look at the bar. What's the matter?
He is going to make sure that bar comes up regardless.
I think he was just staring the weight down. I thought there was something wrong.
I've used it in the past, not successfully. Hopefully it works for him. But he has cut himself pretty short on time now. And that was a very nice opening lift.
You know, I was once asked to re-rack the bar on a squat, and it's panicked me so much that I am out on that platform. I waste no time at all.
Yeah, I think once it happens to you once, you won't let it happen again. You give yourself enough time.
Yeah.
Mike Stagerman from Germany, 120, and I'm pretty sure he competed.
Yep, he was. He took the silver
medal.
Yep.
And he looks like he's really enjoying the competition.
And that's so important. There's so much pressure. You put so much pressure on yourself that we forget that we do this because we love it, and we should be enjoying competing at the highest level.
Big breath in, chest comes up. Oh, he dropped that fast onto his chest, didn't he? It
He
didn't
did,
seem
but
to
it
bother
came
him
up
too
well.
much. I'm sure he'll probably slow that down a little bit for the next one. He gets a one red light there. So Christopher Dolk now from Sweden. 120 kilograms. There's a personal best listed as 120 kilograms.
It's a risky move coming out for your PB, but again, we're not sure when he's set that. He's not been competing very long.
It can also be difficult. I mean, you may have set this personal best 2 years ago. You've been training hard since then, but if you haven't competed in this competition, then it's really hard to judge. But he's managed that really well.
Yeah, I think he got that right.
3 white lights. It's on the board. So Alexander Chernyshov.
Now this is interesting because this is the third man out in this class that competed equipped. This is a complete rematch of the equipped competition.
Pretty much is.
Yeah.
Everyone wants another shot.
So in the equipped, Chernyshov was gold medalist, Stagerman was silver, and Baubelis was bronze. So be interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, it's going to be. And this opening lift here for Chernyshov, this is going to put him in, a fairly good commanding position to lead the decisions. And he's certainly no stranger.
He's benched 145, 147 and a half, even 150 in European.
So he's really taken into consideration the competition load, the recovery, because this is quite a conservative opening lift. Yeah, very nicely done. Easily.
Perfectly judged there.
Very good opener. And he did. He's taken in consideration everything else that's happened over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, and having competed in equipped. I'm going to be conservative with my opener, and then I'll see how I'm feeling.
I'm going to take a leaf out of his book, I think. That was a really good strategy.
So 74 kilo M1, 130 kilos for Kęstutis Navickas from Lithuania. So another one that's really hard to judge. Given his listed personal best is 125. Well, this will give us a good indication of how things have been going. And it was probably a little bit tougher than you'd want for an opening lift.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if he's got a little bit of a twinge in the back or the shoulder there. He just looked like it was tough to bring down. But he handled it well and he gets on the board. Yasuhide Tsunada, Japan, 137.5. So we jump back to the M1-66s. And he is wanting to get this opener on the board and put himself in control. And this will certainly put him in control of the M1-66s.
I think he's new to the international circuit.
Wow, that was a
that
great
is a
opener.
very impressive debut.
That's how you want to start your international career.
Absolutely.
Hello world, I'm here.
Hello world, I'm here and I'm at the top of the table.
So for the 74 kilo M2 now, Lars Carlsen opening with 140. And there's plenty of experience, been competing for 11 years now. And he's got a pretty decent rap sheet, I think.
He really has. He's still looking for his first world title, but he's had the European title.
Oh, tough opener.
Yeah,
But
that
he gets
was
it there. Does he get the lights? He does. 3 white lights.
You see on his face that was tougher than he expected, I think.
Yeah, that's going to put him in a pretty solid place now. I mean, that's going to give him an opportunity to maybe just go over that after that first World Championship. Andreas Wells from
Took
Germany.
the silver in the equipped competition the other day.
So 142.5. These guys, it's a lot of work backing up.
It is, but if we look at the opening nominations for this class, they're all within 2.5 kilos of each other. We're going to have a real
super
fight on our
close.
hands here.
Carlsen chasing after his first international gold. But he's not going to have it all his own way. He's going to have to work for it.
Did he jump that?
Oh,
I think he was close enough there that the man that
right
gave the command knew that he'd jumped it, but it was close enough that the side referees didn't catch it.
Yeah, he was right on it. Bjorn Andre Hegedal from Norway, 142.5. 74 kilo M2. And these guys in the 74 kilo M2 are really neck and neck with each other.
Nice and easy.
So we've got 142.5, 140, 142.5. So they are so close. It is going to come down to that last lift and who doesn't make a mistake. So Laszlo Toth.
He's just popped up into the Masters. He used to compete in the juniors and he had a big break from competition and now he's back as a master.
It is great to see though, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Coming back into the fold. 150 kilograms. And a good choice of opening
Yeah,
lifts.
really nice.
That rolled very, very well. 3 white lights. Yeah, that was a great lift. Very good position on the bench. Very little body movement. Makoto Yonoki from Japan now, 155. And of course, Japan, a great history in bench press. And some great world bench presses have been produced over the years. We saw Daiki Kadama earlier this week battle it out for the gold medal. Oh, I think he might have jumped the command there.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
By enough that all the referees saw it. He's looking a bit confused. He's asking if it was his butt,
sure why
he definitely went before the command there.
Yeah, that was a jump. Just got a little bit excited there. Jani Hapamaki from Finland now, 162.5.
He won his class at Halmstad a couple of weeks ago in the classic powerlifting. This is a fast turnaround.
That is a huge turnaround.
He got 165 at that competition, and he's opening at 162.5 here.
And if you're not familiar with powerlifting, recovering from maximal lifts is not something you do overnight. You don't wake up the next day feeling 100%. It takes several weeks to completely recover.
And of course, if you're peaking for another competition, you can't give it any time to recover, really. You need to keep that intensity up.
And it certainly hasn't bothered him.
No. Nice
Making
and
that look very easy.
He has the national record at 170.5. So I think we might see him go past that today.
And he's got great technique there. Adam Walowaja from Poland, 170.
Current equipped champion. He won his class a few days ago.
He's a very, very strong lifter. He's a very strong classic lifter as well.
Yeah, bench 235 in the equipped.
He is super strong, and I would imagine this is going to move quite well. I've seen him lift 170 before. Oh, a little bit slow off the chest there. But
Did
boy,
you just give him the commentator's curse?
I might have done, but he's beaten it, so that's fine.
Yeah, he's on the board.
I'm okay. He's not going to come and talk to me later.
But I think this is where he's not had time to recover from lifting 235 only
and that
2-3
is
days
really
ago.
going to take it out of you. And he's going to walk off from that one, talk to his coach now. Okay, let's look at the plan for our second lift. That was heavier than I wanted to be. Nodaras Rizavicius from Lithuania for his second lift. 105. We're into that second round now.
This will push him ahead of his teammate temporarily.
And that should be a good lift. 3 white lights. Yeah, but he's not going to hold on to that bronze medal position for too long. Vidmantas Vorblis from Lithuania as well now, 107.5. This will move him from 4th to 3rd. Oh, that just didn't seem to want to move. His elbows really seemed to pop out very early. I might be able to see in the replay, although it did look like his left one was really popping out, and we won't be able to see that in the replay this time. Oh, yes, it is. And his elbows did really flare out a bit there. You want to keep those elbows in a little bit to let the triceps and the lats do some work. Ville Villa from Finland.
He's gone up 10. And of course, the Finns are also a great nation of benchers.
They've got another big team here this week as well.
This moves him up one place. Oh, but it won't. It will not go.
Really had to work in there, and it just didn't want to get past that sticking point. Let's have a look at the replay there. Body position's good. And you can see as the elbows come out, the bar tends to shift forward a little bit, and you're just in a very wrong angle to be able to press. So Mike Rosé from Germany, 117 and a half. And a nice opening lift at 115.
Stopped the bar really well
did.
there. That was a great lift.
Absolute textbook. We talk about it all the time, stopping the bar fast and getting a quick press command, and he did just that. Absolutely perfectly. So we load to 125 for Mike Stagerman from Germany.
So this doesn't move him past the Ukrainian, but it keeps him right behind him. So the Ukrainian needs to keep making his lifts. He's under pressure here.
Yeah, look, and I think that's
Stagerman.
a smart second lift. You know, don't go out doing something crazy and trying to jump into the gold medal position straight away. Keep yourself in touch.
And keep the energy you need for your final lift.
Now let's see if we can keep the pressure on. Oh, he's having to work hard.
I'm not sure if the bar dipped. It certainly stalled a little.
And
that's great.
the referee
He
says
got it.
3 white lights. He certainly kept the pressure on. I don't know, there's a whole lot more room for him to move. So he moved back to the 66 kilo M1 now. Christopher Dog, 125, currently ranked number 2.
He's a little way off being able to make a run at first place for the moment.
Oh,
but
he
that would look
muscled through
good.
really well. They picked up speed as it got further up there. So he gets it on the board, and that is the most important thing, doing your job, waiting for opportunities. Amir Reza Mesfaroush from Iran now, 125.
Likes to intimidate the weight by giving it a good stare.
Well, it certainly worked last time. It's always quite interesting to watch how each athlete has their own little way of walking out to the bench, their own little way of approaching things. You know, some are quite subtle, some are quite obvious.
And there's a wide range between bringing a lot of aggression to it and being very calm.
And that is working well for him today.
Yeah, absolutely.
3 white lights. And so Alexander Chernyshov now for 132 and a half. So we're back to the 66 kilo M2. He's in a fairly commanding position, but if he doesn't get this lift, he does sort of open the door a little bit there.
Yeah. Because he's just over half a kilo heavier than Stagerman.
So Stagerman did the right thing, 125 for a second, didn't do anything crazy, and just waiting to see if an opportunity presents.
Because of course in bench only you have the opportunity to change your third lift. It's like deadlifting in classic powerlifting or 3-lift powerlifting. You get 2 changes on your final lift. Which is where the strategy comes in, really.
Yeah, look, and that's the same in the deadlift at the end of the 3-lift competition.
Nice.
Oh, great lift. That
Yeah.
keeps the pressure off a little bit.
And I think he's got a bit more there too.
Yeah, and that gives him a bit of space now. Estetis The Viscus from Lithuania, 135. Had a good opening lift at 130. Now, I asked earlier if maybe he had a little bit of a back injury or a bit of a twinge in his back, and the way he walked out then suggests he might just have a little bit of a twinge in his back.
Or maybe shoulder, the way that he placed his right hand.
Well, let's see if he can put 135 on the board. He's currently ranked number 4.
I don't think he can.
I don't think it's there.
Won't quite go.
He gave it everything he had, but it just didn't want to move today.
He's also limping a little. Maybe it is his back. He's not looking comfortable.
He's even got his legs really quite far out on his bench setup as well, which suggests maybe he just can't get under there and get tight. Yasuhide Tsunada from Japan, 142.5.
Now his opener looked superb.
And this is his first international, is it?
I think so.
Well, if it is, he's making one heck of an impression. And sporting the big SPD belt there, one of our great sponsors.
Look, he has the Japanese grip. He's turned his hands out so that it sits across the base of his thumb. He could do with gripping with his first finger, though.
He's got quite an interesting technique there, though, as well. I mean, if we're watching the replay, he gets his chest up really well on the touch, but as he presses, he tends to flatten out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting technique, but it's working extremely well for him. So Lars Karlsson now from Sweden, opening with 140, really needs to put this 145 on. He's currently ranked number 3, but this keeps him in touch with silver and gold. And he could find himself in a position on his third lift to have a crack at the gold medal. So really needs to put this one on, though. Well, that wasn't the cleanest of the lifts, but I think he's going to muscle through it.
I think he is. I think it slipped on his chest.
Yeah.
Just before he pressed.
He gets the white lights, it's on the board. We'll have a look at the replay. It was messy. Yeah, he really got out of position there. But boy, he showed some real grind and strength to get through that. So he keeps himself in touch. And Andreas Forels now from Germany, 147.5.
This is a real battle. We still have the M2 74s all within 2.5 kilos of each other.
So this lift becomes very, very important. To try and keep Karlsson out of the opportunity. And that looks good.
Yeah.
He gets 2 white lights. So now we move to 147.5. Bjorn Andre from Norway.
And Egedal is 100 kilos lighter than Karlsson.
So needs to get this in there, though. This, 147.5. This keeps everyone close together.
Yep. Oh, do you know he's exactly the same body weight as Pearls?
Oh, again, he's had to work hard. There's not much room to move.
Now, this is interesting because he's exactly the same body weight to 2 decimal places. The only way to separate the two is first past the post.
So
the first man to make it goes on lot number.
He's going to have to outlift. And it's going to be tough. It's going to come
Yeah,
right down to the
because
wire.
that was a hard lift.
So Laszlo Toth now from Hungary, 157.5. We're in the 74 M1s now. Taking his time. Fast to the chest.
Oh, not quite.
It's great getting it down there fast, but too fast, you really don't get the opportunity to tighten up as well.
Yeah, to wind it in. You don't want to be bringing it down for a long time, wasting energy. But
you
it's
do
hard
need
to
a
keep
little bit of
tightness.
time
Yeah.
to tighten up, wind everything up as you go down, get the lats tucked in.
Now he's gone up. He's missed his opener and gone up.
That's a big call. Makoto Yonoki from Japan. It was a really big call. Opened at 155 and missed it.
He beat the command, didn't he?
He did. He came off way too fast. So it was an easy looking press though. So if he can slow it down, focus on the commands.
Nice.
Much better. So he gets the 157.5. His coach is pretty happy with that as well. He's pretty happy. Yeah, that was much better looking. Jani Hapamaki from Finland. 167.5. His opening lift looked very good.
We'll see how this moves now because he's in touch with the leader.
Yeah, this keeps him right in the pace. He's currently ranked number 2, and if he gets a really well-moving lift here, it certainly says, well, there could be an opportunity. Yeah, there's certainly more room to move there.
Good.
Yeah, 3 white lights and with room to move. So he's put himself in a really good position there. So Adam Bulweja will then have to really make sure he gets his next lift on the board. So he puts on 172.5.
And I think this is smart from him. There's no showboating. He's not heading out towards his PB is 187.5, but he's just staying ahead.
Yeah, and it was a smart move because his opener looked a lot tougher than it usually does at 170. 170 usually moves really well, but
as we said, he pressed 235 in the shirt.
Yeah. That's going to take it out of you.
It's a fight.
Yeah, it looked better than his opener, but it's still a fight. Let's have a look at what the referees say. 3 white lights, and he keeps himself just out of reach.
Right then, Gary, I'm going to have to abandon you. I'm afraid my weigh-in has begun.
So Jo Whiteley will be competing in the next session. So right now, she has to go and weigh in, and we wish her all the best with her lifts. So Nodaras from Lithuania now, 107.5. We're in the 3rd round. This is the 62 kilo M2s. Has had 2 good lifts. He is ranked number 3. And this won't change that at all. And he's having to work very hard. Can he push through? I think he has. He gets the lockout. Let's see what the referees say. No lift. 2 red lights. I'd imagine his hips lifted up there. And the butt came off the bench. Let's have a look at the replay. Vidmantas Borbless now, 107.5. This will now move him into the bronze medal position in front of his competitor. So his teammate, having missed that lift, has now presented an opportunity the Vidmantas to take the bronze medal away. Having also missed 107.5 as well. And it doesn't look like this one's going to move either. So he won't steal the bronze medal away from his teammate. And you can see his elbows really pop out, changing the direction of the bar. So Villa from Finland now, 115. He's currently ranked number 5 in the M1 66 kilos. That won't change. He missed this on his second lift. So having a third attempt now, looking for 115. And just couldn't get it moving fast enough off the chest there. So you have to settle for 105 today. So Mike Rose from Germany now, 120. Well above his previous personal best, but he's clearly shown that isn't an issue. His opening lift at 115, his second lift at 117.5, all moved very, very well. So 120 will maintain his rank at number 4. And a very, very good third lift there, having to put the work in. But he gets the 3 white lights and gets a very big personal best. So Mike Staggerman will be the next to the platform. M266 is looking for 127.5. He is ranked number 2. Has the silver medal. Cannot lose the silver medal. And looking to improve on his previous personal best. So I had a quick chat with the platform crew so he gets the lift off he wants. It's a great touch there, but I just don't think he can squeeze through that transition, and unfortunately no lift, but he will take home the silver medal here at the World Championships. Just a little bit too heavy, then the hips start to lift up. So we're just waiting for some data to update. Make sure we've got the right lifters coming out. And we'll get everything back in order very shortly. The platform crew, of course, doing a fantastic job. And of course, none of this possible without our great sponsors from Alico and SBD. Alico, not only the greatest makers of weightlifting and powerlifting equipment, they are great supporters of the sport as well. They have stood behind weightlifting and powerlifting, and particularly powerlifting, for a very, very, very long time. And of course, SBD, some of the greatest lifting apparel you can possibly get your hands on. Also been big sponsors for a long time. So Christopher Dolk now from Sweden, 127.5. No, he is currently in the silver medal position. And This won't change that ranking, but he needs to defend that silver medal. And not quite there, just looked a little bit too heavy today. So he gets the 3 red lights. So right now then, Amir Reza from Iran has an opportunity to take that silver medal in the 66 kilo M1s. His lifts have looked very, very good. And this one will take the silver medal. This is right on his personal best. He's been competing for 4 years. He has the bronze already, but he would like the silver. And really taking his time there. And not quite. He will have to settle for the bronze. So we move now to the 74 kilo M1. Kestutis Naviscus looking for 135. And he has had a tough day at the office so far. Opened with 130, missed the 135. I'll have to catch up with him later and see if he is carrying a little bit of a stiff back or a bit of an injury. So he's currently ranked 5. This won't change that. He looks very uncomfortable under the bar. Unfortunately, that is a no lift. So Alexander Chernisov will be the next lifter to the platform. And he is the 66 kilo M2 world champion. Regardless of this lift, he will take home the gold medal and the world championship. And I'm quite sure he would like to finish on a green 137.5. Really taking his time with the setup there. He's only got 10 seconds left on the clock. Came down very fast, but managed to muscle through that. And he gets the 3 white lights, and a great way to finish for the new world champion. And now we move to 66 kilo M1. 150 kilos in the bar for Yasuhide Tsunada from Japan. And has looked very good all day. 137.5, 142.5, and now 150. He is ranked number 1. He has the gold medal. He is a world champion. And he's had to muscle through that one, but he gets it to the top. And unfortunately, 2 red lights. Let's wait and see the replay and have a look. And when we can see the infraction, Yeah, it's hard to tell from this side. Oh, his foot is lifted off the floor there. On both sides, I think. But he goes away a world champion. So we move to the 74 M2s, and this is a tight battle. Lars Carlson looking for 150. And this will put him temporarily into the number 1 spot and put the pressure on his competitors to make their lifts. He's doing everything he has to do. He's done his job. All he can do now is put this one on the board and see where the chips fall. And it's just a little bit too much. He got a little bit out of line at the bottom there. Timed the press command quite well, but just wasn't in the best position. So he will have to settle for the bronze medal. And Andreas Borels from Germany now, 150. He's ranked number 1. So currently in the gold medal position. But the Norwegian will follow him with the opportunity to take that away. And it's just not quite going to go. So will we see an attempt change? And we're seeing an attempt change from Bjorn Andre. He only needs to match. He only needs to do the 152.5, 150 now to take the gold medal. So he's dropped to the 150, and this is for the gold medal in the World Championship in the 74 kilo M2. If he misses this, Poets takes the gold. If he gets this, he takes the gold medal. It all come down to this lift. And he is not going to get it there. He'll have to settle for silver, and Poets will take the gold medal and the World Championship. Came down to the last lift, and he couldn't quite get it there. But he goes home with a silver medal, having pushed and challenged for that gold all the way through. So Laszlo Toth from Hungary now looking for 160, having missed 157.5. And this lift is to push him into the bronze medal position. And then to sit back and wait and see what happens. He's currently ranked number 4. This will put him into the bronze. And just not quite there. He will have to settle for rank number 4. But he gave it an enormous effort. We have an attempt change coming in again now. So Makoto Yonoki from Japan is going for 172.5. He is looking for the M 74 kilo M1. No, he's not looking for a record. He is looking for a personal best, I imagine. And looking to chase after that gold medal. And this will give him enough to temporarily put him into the gold medal position. It is a big ask from 157.5 to 172.5. He has the bronze medal. No one can take that away from him. But it is an enormous task to add this much to a classic lift. 172.5 for a crack at the gold medal. and just a little bit too much today. So he goes home with the bronze medal in the M1 74 kilo class. So Yanni Hapamaki will come to the platform next with also 172.5 and also looking to chase down that gold medal. His lifts have been fantastic. 162.5, 167.5. Now looking for 172.5 to possibly give him a gold medal. Oh, I think he's going to get there. He does. He puts himself in the gold medal position. He gets the 3 white lights. And he puts himself with an opportunity. It all comes down to this lift now. Adam Malowezja from Poland has to make this lift for the gold medal. This is for the gold medal. His opening lift looked really tough for 170. His 172.5 looked better. And he is showing some strength and grind here, but it's just not going to go. He is going to have to settle for the silver, and Hapamaki will take the gold medal and the world championship. What a way to finish. All coming down to that one last lift, and he put everything he had into that, but just didn't quite get it there. Well, don't go away. We will be back here very, very soon with the medal ceremonies. And then, of course, at 3 p.m. today, we have the women's M1 to M4 69 to 84 kilo plus lifters, and that will be exciting. And of course, our very own Joe Whiteley will be competing as well.
In a 59 weight class in the Masters 2, first place to Marie-Jo Gilles from France with the result 115 kilograms. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of France. In the 66 weight class in Masters 2, third place with the result 105 kilograms to Kryževičius Nagaras from Lithuania. Second place with the result 125 kilos to Stageman Mike from Germany. And the first place with the result 187.5 kilograms to Chernyshev Alexander from Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Ukraine. In the 74 weight class in Masters 2, third place with the result 145 kilograms to Carlson Lars from Sweden. Second place with the result 147.5 kilograms to Egerdal Jonagre from Norway. First place with the result 147.5 kilos to Paul Andreas from Germany. So please stand up for the national anthem of Germany. In the 83 weight class in Masters 2, third place with the result 140 kilos to Sadvakasa Sharipan from Kazakhstan. Second place with the result 142.5 kilograms to Vegerer Michael from Austria. And the winner of this weight class with the result 172.5 kilos is Yamashita Takaya from Japan. So ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Japan. 125 kilos to Mesfarosh Ahmedreza from Iran. Second place with the result 125 kilos to Bill Christopher from Sweden. And first place with the result 142.5 kilos to Tsunade Yashido from Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem from Japan. In the 74 weight class in the Masters 1, third place with the result 157.5 kilos to Kinoki Makoto from Japan. With second place with the result 172.5 kilos to Adam from Poland. And the winner with the result 172.5 kilos is Pamaki Yani from Finland. So, ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Finland. In the 83 weight class in Masters 1, third place with the result 170 kilos to Giannis Abukcevičius from Lithuania. Second place with the result 180 kilos to Glenbert Flores from France. And the first place with the result 190 kilos to Nursakat Merdan from the West Virginia Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of the West Virginia Islands. to Gaston Parash because he wants to say a few words for you.
Thank you. As today is the last day for the Masters, I want to invite all the lifters who are here who get prizes for the best lifter trophy that we do that, and at the last session after the medal ceremony we will give you the prize for the individual best lifter trophies. So I kindly ask you then come all back here in the afternoon and that we can do that. And now when they are walking out and you come then all here, the whole people who are sitting here plus you all come back, that we make a great picture here in front of our logo and showing with the finger on the IPF logo. Thank you very much.
Dear listeners, thank you for enjoying your weight class.
We have tomorrow also